How you doing, Daniel?
Uh, uh, bit of. I'm good. Just
Like I
life
said,
is
I
good.
said there's no day without drama at Old Trafford. You guys, Manchester United as well is just a dramatic club. You guys like
No,
drama.
a
You are not
no, it's
sacking
not.
somebody, you are hiring somebody. If you are not doing this, you are doing that, you are dropping
Well,
somebody,
I don't.
you are
Could we
suspending somebody.
could we be ever as dramatic as Chelsea Football Club or
What happened to
uh
Chelsea?
yeah, they are more dramatic. They are more of a dramatic side. But for we, it's not about being a dramatic side. It's basically just about that the media always looking to make a fuss out of anything Manchester United, obviously because it's the biggest club in all of England, and then the English press being what it is also. So really can't.
Just look at it that before the Manchester derby, the breaking news was that Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho were dropped out of the squad. That was
Yeah,
imagine before the attention
they were
shift from the
they
derby
were not just they were not just dropped
from the
out.
derby to Rashford and Garnacho.
They were not just dropped out. They were made to train on that Sunday morning also. They turned up for training, both of them.
Like seriously, I didn't know.
While the team was prepped and all that, had leaving for they trained that morning. So you see, that's I think that even made this worse even because they had to turn up for training. And for me,
a few days later, Rashford is telling us that he needs a new challenge.
well,
can we tag that as a transfer request?
obviously that's what it is. And then like for me, that just goes to tell you how two things. How the club, how low the club has gone, how the bar in Manchester United, how low the bar in Manchester United has become. That a player like Marcus Rashford, whom has been giving everything, I mean everything in terms of support in that football club, is coming. The first time he's just been challenged. This is the first manager publicly challenging him. Every other manager has sort of pandered towards what he has requested. Oh, I don't want to strike. I want to play on the wing. They play him on the wing. Oh, I'm out of form. Oh, I need emotional support. They give him days off. But the first time a manager is challenging you, and then there's no debate about Rashford being, Manchester United true and true. That's not the case here. That's not the question here. Nobody's debating that fact. The facts has always been, which that is always been debated, which Marcus is always about attitude, body language, posture. That's what it is. We are not mind readers, rather. We are not magicians. You don't expect. We have to judge what we are saying, and exactly what Ruben is saying. I judge what I see. It's based on what I see. I go into your mind to know how much you love the club and how much you want to play the club. When you get on the grass, you show me how much you want to play by running, by getting into tackles, by being physical, by being present on the grass, by being an excellent teammate, covering up for your mates where they lack.
Yeah.
That's it. That's too much to ask for someone who is sitting pretty on 350 grand every week. When the plumbers don't do their work, when the plumbers don't do their work very well, the plumbers are questioned. You can't pay a plumber for a terrible service being rendered. Neither do you go to Tesco's or Sainsbury's or any of them, and then you go to pick up goods and you clearly could see that these goods probably have expired on the shelf or whatever, and then you go ahead to pay for them. You don't do that.
He said he's misunderstood. That's what he said.
So what I'm saying, we can't judge the posture of your heart. We're not magicians, are we? We aren't. We're not magicians. Rashford has been there. Louis van Gaal gave you your debut. You've had it all good. You've been under Louis van Gaal. You've been under interim managers Ryan Gigg, Carrick. You've seen Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You've been under Ralf Rangnick. You've been under what's it called, Erik ten Hag and Ruud van Nistelrooy. Like, what's it? You've literally seen the lowest low of Manchester United and some sort of, probably the finished end of the good part of Manchester United. And if you want us to so believe that you love the club so well and you really dislike or detest the position the club currently is at, we would see it on the grass. The first time you are checked by a manager publicly, okay, probably let me not say the first time because Eric Ten Hag did check him, and by putting him on the bench and bringing him on as a sub and all that. But probably the first, I think this is maybe the biggest one he has had because he's been left off the squad entirely. He didn't want to make the 23-man squad, and in a derby game also, obviously you could understand the magnitude of the game and then whatever. So let me not say the first time. I'll say the first time it is done in this magnitude. What does he want to hold on to? Ruben Amorim has only been Manchester United a month. And in a month, the manager is calling you out. That goes to show that that goes to show that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't lie in his interview in Overlap when he was at Overlap in the studios. He didn't lie. That goes to show that Ole said nothing that is far from truth. Ruben I think the only time Ruben came to Manchester United was maybe when he came to do some of his classes or something like that. Something when he was doing his badges or whatever, in his manager, he had some sort of whatever he did in Old Trafford. And then he has always followed the Prem from a distance. He doesn't know you. You don't talk. Prior to his job, in Manchester United, prior to him becoming the Manchester United head coach, least you would say that probably there is an agenda up against you. Probably he doesn't like your person or whatever. Nah, that's not the case. It's the first time this man is picking up a job in all of England. The first time he's even living, I don't know, I think the entirety of his career was within Spain and Portugal. Yeah, Portugal. So this is the first time he's even, so like, what's the basis of your defense? You're coming out to say, tell us how disheartening for you it is for you to be left out of the squad, obviously, and then you're telling us how you have gotten older and you can deal with setbacks. The best way for you to deal with setbacks is to get on the grass and run your socks off. That's the best way to deal with setbacks. Is to get on the pitch the next time you get the opportunity to, and be an excellent teammate and a very professional footballer.
He also said, when I leave Manchester United, it's going to be no hard feelings. You are not going to have any negative comments from me about Manchester United. That's me. I will always be a Red. He also said that when I leave Manchester United, I'll make a statement and it will be from me.
The statement will be from me. And then he went on to say that he does feel misunderstood, but he's okay with it. But he believes that he's already gone past midway his career. He's not expecting to peak anymore. So that's more like throwing the towel. That's it. Can you see his mentality? That's more like, whatever, I've done it all. Maybe I've made the money. So he's not expecting to peak anymore. But then again, he's not saying that the best is not yet to come. Are you sick upstairs? Is there something wrong with you? 1 second, you're playing the victim. You're threatening the football club and you're threatening the fan base with your leaving. Who gives a hoot? Nobody cares. I don't. If anybody does, I really don't care. Because I've seen the best of Rashford. I don't care any longer. He's nearing 28 years of age. And that was the same way, that was the same way we kept on calling Lingard a young boy until Lingard hit 32 years. Always deceiving us with his beautiful gene that he has. Always looking young. to the point that Lingard's brother put out a statement where he's stating how unhappy they are that he didn't get a testimonial. Imagine Lingard requesting a testimonial.
Lingard, a testimonial.
So how low Manchester United has fallen. Tell me how low the bar is. Rashford. What has Rashford masterminded for Manchester United? That's always my question. He was there when Zlatan came to mastermind the Europa League and the Carling Cup. Right under his nose there, Garnacho and Kobe Mino masterminded the FA Cup win at the end of last season. So, like, I don't get what Rashford thinks that we owe him as a football club, as fan base.
He's a Manchester lad.
Is he the first? It's not the first. It's such a shame, really, that 1 second, you're blaming everybody. You're playing the victim. The next one, you're sort of making us feel like, oh, you've done it or you've achieved, or I've gone past my peak of my career, whatever you guys want to do with me. I think it's too late right now for me to feel bad. I'm already nearing the tail end of my career, heading into my late 20s. I can just go and get in 3 more years of good football elsewhere in another team, a big, supposedly big side in Europe, 3-4 years, whatever, get money in my bag and come back to Manchester and have a happy retirement. That's what I can deduce from his statement, really. It goes to tell you his mentality. Listening to you, Ruben, yesterday in pre-match, Ruben said that for him, what he would have done was to meet the manager. There was no point going out to put up such interview. You've been challenged. Your professionalism has been challenged by a manager who's barely spent beyond a month in the football club. Supposedly, at this point in time, Rashford is supposed to be,
Rashford is supposed to be the captain of Manchester.
When he was offered, he turned it down. He turned down the captaincy armband.
Even if he's not the captain, there are leaders that are not captains. Rashford is supposed to lead these guys. Rashford, see, as a Manchester born, but Rashford in that dressing room, he's supposed to be this guy that others will look up to and be like, yes, this guy, we need to behave like this guy. But he's not giving them that. He's not giving them that. He's just behaving anyhow.
He should be the player that when
things are bad, they should look up to him.
When players coming from Portugal, Argentina, Brazil, from different part of the world, Africa, Cameroon, or wherever, Ivory Coast, I'm talking right now, the nationalities of the crop of players we currently have. He should be the guy who takes them by the arm, shows them around the club, shows them around the city, tells them what it is to be a Manchester United fan, how you should play as a Manchester United fan, how you should make sure that every day you suit up, you have the opportunity to play in front of the fans, home or away, you leave everything on the grass.
Exactly, 100%.
That's what he should be. He should be the one who leads. I tell you, has he faced a tenth of what Maguire faced for 2 calendar years? No. I don't think anybody in the last 11 years in all of England, I don't think the hammer has been let loose on any individual. I'm talking professional football in all of England than it was on Maguire for I think it was 2022, 2023. He received the most backlash. One of the most searched professional footballer in all of England on Google. One of the most watched on YouTube. One of the guys whom his bloopers, a lot of edits, videos about his bloopers or whatever was done. A lot of, shaming him by the media, by folks like us who did podcasts and who owned who are vloggers or whatever you call us. Like, even maybe some players who had sometimes that players dribble past Maguire and they laugh at him. You could see them kind of like giving him that kind of like, oh, it's Harry sort of like thing. The captaincy was stripped of him publicly, and he had to go. He fell. Don't forget that Maguire fell down the pecking order. Became, I think, about the 3rd centre back in Manchester United at some point.
If not the 4th, sir.
But every time you call him up, Harry gives you a beautiful game. To the point that right now, every true Manchester United fan wants Maguire to stay as a backup central back. The only thing is that they should consider cutting his wages down to probably around 150 or something about that. That's what fans are saying. You should keep him. Ruben was saying something, and Ahmed have said this thing also because we also saw it even in the England national team. He's so excellent when he's the central man in a back three.
Yeah,
he plays so
that's under
well.
Southgate.
Yeah, and we're saying it again. The few times he has played now under Ruben, he has been so amazing. And let's not forget that his last 6 months also under Eric Ten Hag has been amazing also. He has been able to fight back from, all of the criticisms. That's what we expect from Rash or any other player. Ruben, when asked also about Garnacho, he said that Garnacho trained. Rashid didn't train because, in Ruben's words, Rashid was sick. But then Garnacho trained, and he said, according to him, Garnacho trained well. But obviously, Garnacho was upset with him, Ruben. But that Ruben understands, obviously, because, yeah. But at the same time, for the opting time again, your manager is not your friend.
Exactly.
I don't expect my manager at my workplace to be my body. Nah. It's my workplace, for crying out loud. I don't even expect to have. Ruben said something, because when he was asked also about the atmosphere, the mood, if the whole Rashford thing was, it was like, nah. He said we footballers are selfish. Everybody's thinking about their own form and their own contract. And that's what a workplace is. Really, that's what a workplace is. We should go just have a good enough relationship with your colleagues, your work colleagues, so that you guys can function together as a unit towards achieving a goal that's been set by either your department, your whatever, your KPIs. And that's the same thing also. When I underperform, or when the quality of my job in my workplace is dropping, I just get a Teams message from my manager after she reviews my SLA or whatever. She calls me in. She calls me in for a one-to-one. Have a one-to-one. A lot of things are being discussed. Where she needs to, have a go at me, she has a go at me. When she thinks that, oh yeah, you've always done this way, what's going on? Probably she begins to check in with my well-being. What's going on? Is all feel good with you at home? Are you fine? What's ongoing? Why your job quality has dropped probably by sometimes a meager 2%, sometimes a meager 1.something%. And also that's what statistics also, like, data these days does. Managers always checking a lot of stuff. And so I'm getting my feelings because my manager has called me up for a one-to-one and she's trying to check me. That's the same thing. I'm being paid for the job, right? It's kind of, when I was offered the job, I put pen to paper. That was okay with the T&Cs of the job. I was okay with my role. Why should I then, when I'm probably underperforming, why should I then feel some type of way that I'm being checked? That's crazy, really. It's your job. It is your job. We hear a lot of all this. They try to discover how dispensable they really are. We see Pogba now going around the world looking for clubs, looking for value. We heard his interview where he was talking about how he was dropped from a lot of all the whole and whatever gigs he used to get. A lot of all this fashion, whatever, we're no longer inviting him for events. You are dispensable, rather. Don't think you're just a very tiny atom in the whole grand scheme of events. Don't make it look like it's all about you. Now, for me, really, I care less, really, because Manchester United should have let him go 2 seasons ago, when we should have been able to squeeze out probably about 70 million or more.
The second time, rumors were going around. So you wanted him. Absolutely.
Yeah. So to be honest, and for me, I think it's going to be fair on both parties, because we're also looking to cut wages, because if Casemiro has to leave and Rashid leaves, that would be, I think, both of them, their annual income, I think it sums up to somewhere between 16 or 18 million or whatever. And so with both of them, we're looking to save well over 35 million quid. And then what you also get from the sale, we may not get much from Kase, maybe except he's moving to Saudi Arabia or whatever. But for Rashi, we may still be able to squeeze out some good 55 to 65 million quid. So that's good profit. You're also looking to bring down, the wages and all that of these players. So it would also be a good time to, and look, for me, let's just go and get all these young boys and keep all of them on some 40,000, 50,000 pounds, whatever. You're going to get hungry boys. I saw this Liverpool guy, the winger, the left wing guy, from Uruguay.
Yes.
Yeah, That is way under 70,000 weekly. I was like, wow, he's running his socks off. You could say he's running for a higher paycheck. I don't care. If that's what's going to take for we to get the best of our players, then get these lads and keep them on 30,000 to 50,000. Real Madrid, of all whatever, doesn't even pay so well. They substitute it for trophies.
Yeah,
You're here to win. And you're here to get. You're here to play for Real Madrid. And that's what it should be for Manchester United also. The caliber of football club that it is. We keep splashing cash on everything. And this is where it has gotten us to right now. So for me, I think it's a win-win situation really for Rashford and the football club. I think Rashford leaving, I don't want to be in my feelings. Manchester United fans, I think, were best known for being in our feelings. Yeah, we're best known for being in our feelings when it comes to players. We're always too attached to players, and I think when we're looking to build, as I've been saying in the last, I know for me, it bores me out also right now to even say we're building, because it's taking 12 odd years now, and we're still building. Whatever you're building right now, I think you should be roofing it up by now. So like, I think we're still even at the foundation. That's so sad, really. So for me, it's a win-win situation for Bopa. Is really, I would love to see him go. We're going to save huge sums of money from him leaving, likes of Casemiro leaving, and all that, setting up new standards in the club. Look, I tell you, well over 250 staffs of Manchester United have been relieved of their roles. We've had executives leave. We have people who have been in the football club for 25 years, 30 something odd years. They have lost their jobs. Have those who have even been in Manchester United for less than that, who have lost their jobs. And then if you continue, have wages are being cut down. I'm talking salaries are being cut down in England. In Old Trafford, and then also the ticket. The ticket sales, also cost of tickets have gone up, and then all these measures have been made, and then the least that has been asked of you as a player is just to run your socks off, give your best. Don't just give it to yourself and your family on the inside. They want to see it on the pitch, want to see it outside, want to see you, in the training sessions, want to see the vibe, want to see the energy, want to see it on the grass when you play on match nights. So if that's the most that's been asked of you, and you're going out to the media to cry, then it speaks much of who you are. It speaks much of what Cristiano Ronaldo have said about these boys in Old Trafford. It speaks so much about what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said. It speaks so much about what the media have been saying the last couple of years. There's a lot of, because with the Sancho one, we saw it. With Lingard, we saw it. With Rashford right now, we are seeing it. And that's why the likes of Garnacho, who have done nothing in world of football, will think that Manchester United owes him the world. And that's why the likes of Garnacho would look to be stupid and disrespectful, not just to the football club, but to the fan base, whom actually are the foundation of the football club. The shit show in Manchester United has to end. And I don't care if it's going to have us lose supposedly some of the best players. I don't care. Rashford has masterminded nothing for us. We are okay with him being a fan from a distance. That's fine. If that's what's going to take for us to salvage our football club, I'm in for it. Enough of managers being called out. Enough of club executives being called out. Enough of coaches and people at manning different roles, the chef and the whatever. People working on the background, very honest professionals on the background, working to see that the football club succeeds and these players have the best platforms to perform. All of them are losing their jobs. They're being called out for different reasons. I think the time right now for the players to be called out is now. And for me, I care less really if that's what it's going to take for my football club we splash our money on Manchester United. We know how much we spend on Manchester United. I didn't steal that money. I worked my butt off for it. And then Rashford can slap me in my face by telling me how I should react to how he's reacting. If he's making me believe that I'm not reacting well to how he's reacting, then he has no right to think to define what is well and what is not well. And I think that's the same thing also every fan of Manchester United and lover of football would also be thinking and saying. You don't tell fans who invest their money on getting the gears, buying match day tickets, subscribing to different things. And that's how the football club garners money away from all the whole media thing. That's how the football club generates revenue and gets value. And it's from there they are paying you. It also contributes. So don't tell fans, don't look fans in their faces and spit on them.
All right, Dan.
I really just hope that this drama ends by January. To be honest, waiting for the summer is too long.
We never can tell what the club will do because Amorim is trying to like manage the situation. But let's see how it goes. Okay, thank you very much for joining me, Dan.
Yeah, thank you.
See you later.
Oh, enjoy the rest of your day, man.
You too.